What's up, Whisper Nation? And welcome in. It's Sunday morning. How we doing? Game day. It's your boy. Thank you for tuning in with your boy, Johnny Game Time. Find me on Twitter at Johnny_Game Time. As always, you can find me here on this channel, Fantasy Whispers. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like for me. Give this a giant thumbs up. That would really help me and this channel in this stream. Help get it out to more people so we can potentially help more people throughout the playoffs, because we got the playoffs coming up, but we don't get in the playoffs if we don't win today. I know a lot of you are requiring a win today. I am in a couple of leagues. So we're going to get that W today. We're going to get going strong into playoffs. And we're going to get those championships. We're going to get those dubs. Let's go. Appreciate you, Jersey J. Saying drop that thumbs up. Appreciate you. I want to welcome in everybody into the stream. Got our boy back, Mr. Miyagi, saying he was back, saying he was on vacation. Now he's back. It's great to have you, man. Great to have you back, Jersey. Great to have you back, Mr. Miyagi. What's up, David? Oh, and my guys, this is what Tater Tot coming in strong early. You already know, if you want to get me jacked, you want to get Whisper Nation jacked, this was super chat. Get that question, jump right to the top there. Not only that, but you wake me and Whisper Nation up, because you get a nice little woo to wake up the morning. Good morning on a Sunday. All right, Tater Tot, $5 super chat. Appreciate you for supporting the channel here. Asking Ayuk, Michelle, or Gabe Davis standard. If it's standard, I'm going Sony Michelle. In this one, I would rank this Michelle, Ayuk, then Gabe Davis in a standard league. I do think Ayuk kind of has a little bit. He was at a disappointing week last week, but I do think he has a better week this week against Cincinnati. But again, in this, because we do know that now Henderson is has COVID. Excuse me, big difference. Has COVID, so he is out against the Cardinals. I'm rolling with Sony in a very good matchup. They should rely on him heavily. All right, Jersey A saying early bird gets the worm. Jersey asks Seals or Moreo. I'm going Seals Jones against Detroit, or against Dallas. Ricky Seals, it's not the best matchup. Dallas isn't super susceptible at the tight end position. But again, I like Ricky Seals over Moreo and the volume there. And then I also like Ricky Seals rest of the season over Moreo, especially if you're trying to fill in for Darren Waller, which I just so happen to know that Jersey J is. Jersey J's our guy. There he is. Mr. Miyagi saying he was on family vacation since Wednesday. Glad to be back. Glad you're back, Mr. Miyagi. Missed you, man. Missed you. Taysom Hill or Matthew Stafford. This one's a little bit difficult for me as far as, like, I've got them pretty close rankings, but I don't necessarily love the matchup for Matthew Stafford. I think they run a lot in this game. I think they try to keep the ball away from Kyler Murray, knowing what they had last year or what they earlier in this season and what they had put up. I have them very close to my rankings, but I have Taysom Hill slightly ahead of Matthew Stafford this week. So I would go with Taysom Hill as my starter. This guy's a QB1 every time he plays. I understand the finger's a little bit of a concern, but again, he'll get Kamara back. He'll have a lot of dump-off opportunities, and Kamara will get a lot of that yardage for him. And then he'll have his scramble and he'll run. And so he'll be okay with that one. David asking a real difficult one. Gibson or Michelle? Leaning Gibson, but need opinions. I would go with Gibson. Gibson has been one of the hottest running backs in the last couple of weeks. They're giving a massive workload. We do know that we've also got J.D. McKissick ruled out of this game, so I expect them to continue to lean heavily on Gibson. Great question. I would potentially try to get Michelle in your lineup somewhere else if you can. But again, I understand sometimes you picked up some guys on waivers, you don't have that opportunity. So between these two, I'm going Gibson over Sony. But great question. Great question. I'll add the Jersey J. Seals or Ingram, half PPR. So Ingram is in an interesting spot. I do think that Ingram could potentially have a decent game today, but I'm not trusting him. I just never trust Ingram, even when he's in a great spot. It just never seems to work out the way we'd like it to. So I would still go with Ricky Seals today in this matchup against Dallas. Sorry, I'm trying to get there we go. Put my screen back up. All right. My facelift on here. Okay. Jumping back into these questions. I love it. As always, keep asking those questions. I'll get to as many as I possibly can. If you want your question, you're on a time crunch, you need it now, go ahead, hit us with that super chat. You won't get a little woo from me and Whisper Nation, get us jacked, and you get your question answered right away. Also helps out our channel. So, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Our guy, #1 fan, Jacob Bly, Ball Don't Lie, saying Cards and Suns are top dogs. That's right. It's been a long time coming, but finally. All right. Mr. Ray, let's go Bucks, beat those Bills. Yeah, me too. Going out with my Brady jersey, and it's been like 2 years. Oh, nice. I like it. I'm going for the Bucks today as well. I think they win. I think the Bills are a little bit phony. Question 2 asked Jersey J. Judy has a great matchup. Is there any way in the world that you would sit Chubb and play Michelle and Jacobs as your RBs and play Judy in your flex? Thanks in advance. I would not. Big Travie is also, if you didn't notice, I'm solo today. Big Travie will be here tomorrow during the stream. Join us Monday nights for the stream. We do the Monday night footballs and Thursday night football games live stream. Watch it with you guys. We'll be setting our DFS lineups with you before the game. So make sure you're joining there. Big Travie will be with us. But I would not get cute in this situation. Jerry Jeudy, what looks to be a great matchup on paper. Detroit is susceptible, to wide receivers. It's not like they are dominant. But the thing is like the game script doesn't dictate that Jerry will probably get a lot of usage. I really think that Denver's going to lean on their running backs in this game. I think it's a big game for Javonte. I think Melvin is a good play today. And so I'm not going to advise you to jump to Jerry over Nick Chubb. I think that might be getting a little too cute. If you had a better option, I'd say, yeah, I wouldn't mind the pivot because I don't expect Chubb to have a massive day, right? I said it's a matchup breakdown show. 4 out of the last 6 games that Nick Chubb has faced Baltimore, he has been, RB 47 or worse, and that's putting up about 5 fantasy points in PPR. So it's not great. It's not a great matchup today. He's probably not going to do well. But if there's anyone that I would say I would have confidence in outperforming a matchup when it looks like it's bad on paper, it's much more of a guy like, Nick Chubb over going somewhere cute with Jerry Jeudy where the game script doesn't potentially lead to what looks to be a good outcome. Remember, Justin Jefferson last week and KJ Osborne, massive days because Detroit got up heavily early in that game. Minnesota had to come back. That was the most fantasy points they had given up to the wide receivers in some time for Detroit. So that's why I'm not necessarily so heavy on Jerry Jeudy this week. All right, Moses asking, pick 3 between Ayuk, DJ Moore, Hunter Renfrow, and Marquise Brown. I'm going with DJ Moore here, Hunter Renfrow, and I'm probably going to go with Marquise Brown over Ayuk. Again, I like the matchup for Ayuk a little bit better than Marquise. But if I'm going to trust somebody, this is week 14. I'm going to trust, players that have somewhat gotten me here, right, and matchup. And I think that Marquise Brown, that combination sticks with me. He has that upside. I think with you having, Hunter Renfrow in there, which is somewhat steady, solid floor there. You got DJ Moore, who has been pretty steady with Cam Newton, also gets Atlanta today. Should be a good matchup. So definitely getting him in my lineup. And then I think you could afford to go with Marquise Brown here, who has the upside. Obviously, he's been disappointing over the last few weeks. Not the greatest matchup again, but I would go with Marquise over Brandon Ayuk this week. All right, Sunday night flex, MBS or Mountie? Been hearing a lot of shade for Monty on the morning streams. I don't get where I looked into this, and I'm not really sure where this stuff is. Everything that I'm hearing, he's good to go. He's been cleared. He's been removed off the injury list. I think that we made a big deal out of nothing on Wednesday because it was a normal day off, and we took it as, oh, all of a sudden Monty's all banged up. What do I need? Like, they're playing Monty. They have any chance to win this game, the Chicago Bears. They need Monty. They're going to rely on Monty. I'm playing Monty this week. But I do think MBS is a nice what the heck flex. But again, only in desperate situations. I'm not rolling him in there. I'm not getting cute week 14 by sitting Monty. And let people throw shade on because they'll be wrong. Because, and maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But again, what I've seen, I have Monty in a lot of lineups today. So I've been monitoring this, and it just seems like people were making a deal out of nothing. He had missed practice on a day when it was common for people to miss practice. Like it's Wednesday. All right. Jersey J saying, if I win, I'm in. My wideouts are Deontay, Higgins, running backs Chubbs, Jacobs, and Michelle in the flex. I love that. I think you're great. I think you're great right there. That's where you should go. Gives you that good combination of a great floor and have that upper ceiling there with that combination there. Freeman is my RB3 this week. Could you start Crowder over him? You could if you could do anything. You could start, any waiver wire guy off of the waivers over Freeman, Mr. Miyagi. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't this week. Again, not the best matchup for Freeman, but we do know that Freeman has been getting the bulk of the carries there. He's been playing basically that Dobbins role for this Baltimore defense, which is the more explosive. Murray's been kind of more relegated back to that secondary, which is in reality the third kind of option for there in the running backfield there. So I would go with Freeman. I'm rolling with Freeman as an RB2. RB2 for me. Saying good luck today. Yes, good luck, everyone. Got to get those. Got to get those wins. Get those wins getting the playoffs next week. Let me know if your playoffs are this week, by the way. Some people still have them set for this week. It's unfortunate, but let me know. No shame in it. We live and we learn. Is Calvin Ridley a hold? I have Hawkinson about to be ruled out. Hawkinson about to be ruled out. Calvin Ridley, is he a hold? I don't think he is. I don't think he's coming back. If he hasn't come back to this point, they're obviously not going to be getting in the playoffs. And so I just don't think he comes back this year. I would be fine dropping him, especially if you needed a piece to play today. But I don't think that Calvin Ridley will be back this season. Pizza Belly or Guy, happy Sunday. Oh, I appreciate that, Jersey J. Appreciate it. Hey, if you are new, we got 17 people tuning in. If you're new to our channel, hit us with that subscribe. Let us know. We'll shout you out. You won't. It's easy to do. You just hit this button right here. Just to the right. Hit that subscribe right there. And then hit that bell so you get notified right when we go live. Put out new content basically daily. Season's winding down, but it doesn't mean you can't tune in now. We got great content even coming up in the off season. Yeah, we think about that. All right. Asking. Any beat the waiver wire guys to pick up tonight? I already have Philly D. I love Philly D. I have seen Mike Gesicki been dropped on a few waiver wires. I don't mind picking him up simply, not saying he has the greatest schedule down the stretch, which is probably why people had dropped him. He wasn't performing quite to the standards that he was in the beginning of the season. But if you need a tight end, and he could be available in week 15, he gets the Jets. Beautiful matchup for tight ends. They have been getting destroyed. So, if you're playing that tight end streamer kind of game, and you want to look ahead, I think Gesicki is a nice tight end to pick up. I do think MBS is an interesting stash there that you already have, Mr. Miyagi. And more so, really, I like this question because it's important. More so right now, I am looking, like you said, I'm glad you brought up the defense. I'm looking at defenses. So, the Cincinnati Bengals are another defense that I do think has a really nice stretch here that you could get.
I'm trying to think another, the San Francisco 49ers, another game, but they're probably not available to you. These are some defense I'm starting to hold. Green Bay is another one. Green Bay has some nice games down the stretch. So I like those kind of defenses. I'm not necessarily trying to go and grab waiver wire guys necessarily right now. I am going, if I'm in a position where I have a couple spots right now, I am getting my handcuffs. If I have Monty, I'm going to get Herbert. If I've got, even if I've got just Jonathan Taylor, I'm going to pick up Marlon Mack. Sounds gross, but it's good to have those running backs right now. I don't really need any more waiver wire stashes on my roster at this point, at least in most cases. Some cases you might, but in most cases, I'm going to handcuff my players. All right, Eagle Fang dropping in. What up, Eagle Fang? Good morning to you. Good morning. Yeah, who's not liking? Who's not liking? If you're watching, please do me a favor. Hit me with that thumbs up. Really, really helps. Gives me a boost of, hits that endorphins rush, Going solo today, so it gives me a little bit more boost. Jersey J asking, Michelle's a top 10 play. Absolutely this week against Arizona. Unfortunately, it's, my team, but I tell the facts. They can't stop a nosebleed at the running back position. So I'm definitely playing every single running back against Arizona. Josh Jacobs or James Robinson? I'm going Josh Jacobs in this one. James Robinson, I do expect to have a better day than last week. Remember, he was started, fumbles. They end up sitting him out for 30 minutes. And then the rest of the way, they end up splitting the time with Carlos Hyde. After the game, you had a rookie quarterback feel like he could, and apparently maybe it'll work. We'll see. I think it might. Trevor Lawrence comes out and says, hey, we need to get and make sure our best player is on the field. I don't know why Robinson's not on the field more, and we're taking him out for Carlos Hyde. We'll see if the coaching staff responds to that. I would expect that they would, honestly, and it doesn't make sense. But obviously, James Robinson dealing with some heel issues, some injuries, but I would go with Josh Jacobs. He is going to be a beast, especially with Drake out as well. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Maybe hopefully we can make it up for you today. But we live and we learn. Try to help you out. Try to help you out around that. We'll get it. We'll get you. All right. Gano, Boswell, McPherson, Greg Zerlon, kicker whisper. I don't mind Graham Gano. Boswell, he kicked on Thursday, so he can't. I do think moving forward, he has a nice playoff schedule. He's someone that I'm potentially looking at for the playoffs, fantasy playoffs. But today I'm going Greg the Leg. Greg the Leg. Greg the Leg for me today. Good morning. Good morning. Kyle. Start Crowder to Shepard PPR. Don't really like either one of these options. So if I have to choose one over the other, I'm going Crowder. Going Crowder over Shepard. Where do we have Judy ranked? Just curious. I have Jerry Judy ranked. I'll pull it up right now. And this is PPR. So I have Jerry Judy. There he is. Right around wide receiver, low end wide receiver 3. That's where I have him. So around guys like Crowder, like Gallup, guys like Gage, places right around there. That's where I'd go. Look at this guy. I like it, dude. This is awesome. Yo, what's up? All the way from Twitch. Appreciate you. I like that, dude. That's awesome. Robert King, welcome in. Haven't seen you in here. Appreciate you tuning in. Taysom Hill, 100 rushing yards last week. Like the statement. I like it. Can he double it down? Potentially. It's against the Jets. I will say Jets haven't been as susceptible as we thought against the quarterbacks, but they haven't really had a reason to, nor have they really faced a quarterback that's what he primarily does. And so I think Taysom Hill, this is a decent over-under here. But I do think it's going to be a big Alvin Kamara day. I think Alvin Kamara definitely gets heavily involved today. Pizza Belly asking Cordero Patterson, Jamar Chase, or Metcalf, full PPR. Wild that it's coming down to this and that Cordero is in this conversation. And frankly, with Chase or Metcalf, I would go Cordero. I think Cordero has the safest floor here. He has the highest ceiling as well, or he has the ceiling that could potentially match Jamar Chase or Metcalf if they go off. Metcalf, Chase, both in great matchups. But again, I'm going with the safety of what is week 14 and what I know. And Cordero Patterson has been that safety blanket. So I'm definitely getting him in my lineup. And I'm really trying to get Metcalf in my lineup because if there is a week to play Metcalf, you feel somewhat confident. I know we haven't been feeling confident over the last few weeks, but against Houston, Metcalf should absolutely feast. And if he doesn't, it's a bad day. Bad day and a bad year for Metcalf in fantasy. But yeah, we said this on the stream, it's like if you're basically not playing Metcalf today, what's the point of holding on to him? Because this is the best matchup he's going to have down the stretch in a long time. So, but again, out of these three, I'm picking Cordero. Baki, what's up? Welcome in. Haven't seen you in a minute. What's up? Game time question. What's up, Baki? Since I already started Justin Jefferson, who just absolutely went off, who should my second wide receiver be? D-Hop or Hollywood Brown? D-Hop. I would go D-Hop. Great matchup this week. Against, I know it's on paper, it doesn't look like a great matchup against Rams, but like Ramsey, we know Ramsey and Hopkins they go back at it. They go back and forth. I'm not afraid of Ramsey when it comes to D-Hop. And I actually really like this matchup. And I really like this game for him tomorrow. So, and our guy, Stephen Drake's coming in, pumping us up on a Sunday morning, getting us going, getting the people going. You know what that means, Whisper Nation. Got to hit him with. Woo! Let's go. Getting it going this morning. Appreciate you, Stephen Drake's. Need to have PPR. Our guy, NWI, Alex Collins, Jeff Wilson, Jefferson from Detroit, Hilliard, or Hasty. Got quite the combo here. I'm going to go with Jeff Wilson. Alex Collins expect to split carries with Penny and, everyone else that they've got in that backfield. Jefferson is interesting to me, right? Jefferson, interesting spot. I do think he's pretty talented, but in this case, in a PPR, I'm going to go with Hilliard. I'm going to go with Hilliard and Jeff Wilson. I don't think NWI is a terrible option for what the heck flex, but because you have Hilliard and he has a good upside against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who on paper have been a little bit more stout than what we'd expect from a defense. However, as of the last couple of weeks, teams have really kind of started leaning in on that run game, and it's caused them to be a pretty decent matchup now. So that's where I would go. I'd go Hilliard and Jeff Wilson. Appreciate the question, Stephen Drakes. Appreciate the super chat. If you're new to our channel, just tuning in, you want your question answered, you got time, you got to go do something else, you need a quick answer, hit me with that super chat. Really helps the channel, helps me get jacked, helps Whisper Nation get excited, and answer your question right away. All right, getting back to where we were. Robert King asking Mooney, Jefferson, Pitts, PPI spot, go. So here's what I guess. I do think Mooney is a good play. I think Mooney, but he doesn't have the safest floor. So I do think Pitts is a decent, solid play this week. But again, we know what his downside is. And can he get to that upside spot? His ceiling. Can he get to it? I don't think he can necessarily against Carolina. So in this case, I'm going with Mooney. I think he has the safest, relatively safest floor, highest ceiling. I think Jefferson ultimately probably has the safest floor because he's probably going to get, 12, 14 touches in this game. So but I don't know how much I like the upside there. So I would probably go with Mooney most likely in a PPR in a PPR spot. Mooney has some upside. Green Bay somewhat susceptible to big plays. All right. Truck asking Edmonds or Abdullah full PPR. I'm going. See, this one, I don't know what the workload of Chase Edmonds is going to be. Like fully. I'm expecting him to play. I'm expecting him to get work. And frankly, I think it's going to be better. It's going to be more than Abdullah. So I'm going to go Edmonds here. I'm going to go with Edmonds. I think that's the safer play. PPR. I'm going Edmonds. Jersey J, join Patreon, get the signed Michelle jersey. Look at that. There's a guy. This is why I love Whisper Nation. That's why I love our Patreon. Despite being in there and knowing that it lessens the odds for everyone else, they still promote. That's why we have a great community. As Jersey J said, if you want to get in on the signed jersey right here, we're giving away at the end of this month. Elijah Mitchell, signed auto jersey, the Color Rush. It's an awesome jersey. I really don't want to give it away, but we have to on the show. I was told by both Big Travie and Austin I had to give it away. So be giving that away on our Monday night stream later on at the end of this month. So if you want to sign up for that on our Patreon, patreon.com/thefantasywhispers. Link is in the description below. Helps our channel grow, helps us be able to create more content. And it also gives you a chance right now to win this awesome jersey, get bonus content. It's all great, Got 29 of you in here tuning in right now. Hit that like for me on the way in, please. And if you're new, subscribe. Let us know. Got to get that W today. Help you on the way, getting that championship on the way for the fantasy playoffs. So let's go. You won't hit us with that subscribe. You won't hit us with that thumbs up. All right. Robert saying run away from Denver wide receivers. I agree. Run away. Pizza Belly, I'm still alive somehow in the listener league. I know you've been, the listener league has been struggle bus for us. If I win today, I have a chance to make the playoffs. Well, good luck, Pizza Belly. You've been battling all year long. You try to make a run. Man, our quarterback situation just not good. That was not a good one. All right, Andre asking, pick one, half PPR, CEH, or Donta Freeman. Hit me with the real hard question here. If it's a PPR, I'm going to go with CH in a PPR. I think Foreman is a better play in standard. I do think Foreman is a solid play if you need to throw him in there. But if you have an option, like CH, I'm going CH over Donta Freeman. Or Donta Foreman. Sorry, not Freeman. Very different players there. All right. Got Jaylen Guyton, asked Jerry. Jaylen Guyton or Allen Robinson? PPR. I'm going Allen Robinson, believe it or not. Allen Robinson on this one. It's a bold call, but it's a gut feeling. But Guyton definitely has a safer floor, for sure, is what I'll tell you. Guyton definitely has a safer floor. So if you need to win this week, don't play Robinson. If you need to win this week, go with Guyton, because Guyton has just as high as upside as Robinson. I just have a gut feeling that Robinson's going to be a good play tonight. Is Waddle a PPR league winner in your opinion? I think he could be. They have a pretty solid schedule on the way over the next 3 weeks when he gets back. You also don't know what's going to happen with Gaskin and this running back situation there. And you have that rapport there that continues to happen with Tua and him. So I think he's the safest option in all of Miami. So I do think that there is potential that Waddle is a league winner. And we know what his upside is on a weekly basis. He gets you, 20, 30 fantasy points in a PPR. So definitely for sure. Pistol Pete, love that name there. Rex Burkhead, Jameer Jefferson, Rashad Penny, or Jeff Wilson, full PPR. Full PPR, I'm going to go with Jeff Wilson. For me, if I'm having to rank these, it would be Jeff Wilson, Jefferson, Penny, then Burkhead. That's how I'd go in that order. Great question, Pistol Pete. Let's see. Chad come in here. What's up? What's up, Chad? Herbert or Hill? CH Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the start. Also Ingram or Seals Jones at tight end. So I would go CH over Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard. And then I would also go with Seals Jones over Ingram. Again, Ingram, very good matchup on paper, but I'm nervous the quarterback situation there and Ricky Seals. I just think, he's going to get the bulk of those snaps in a game that most likely will be, could be a shootout, or they'll be, trying to come back from behind. So I do think that Ricky Seals is the play there. Brady or Rodgers? Rodgers. In this case, I'm going to go with Brady. I think that Brady going up to the Bills. Listen, I know on paper the Bills have been a very difficult matchup for quarterbacks. But frankly, if you look at who they played as quarterbacks, it's not been great. And so it makes sense as to why they've been able to hold so many quarterbacks to very few fantasy points, because they haven't played very many good ones, not even half the talent of Tom Brady. So the best one that they played all year was Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes put up 24 fantasy points. I'm fine with it. Carson Wentz went in there. That was the second best quarterback that the Bills have faced all year. And Carson Wentz went into Buffalo and had a decent day, despite, JT having 5 rushing touchdowns. I do think that Uncle Lenny has a really good game. That's the only concern I have, is that, you get those touchdown vultures like we saw a couple of weeks ago, where, Leonard Fournette got the 4 touchdowns on the 1-yard line. So that's what you could see. But again, I think with Brady or having Gronk back, I think, that I'm fine rolling Brady. And Rodgers, again, my concern with this game tonight, and this is another gut feeling, and I'll be playing as such in my DFS lineup. I think this is a much heavier run game for Green Bay than we think. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to come out and be slinging the rock. I think based on what Rodgers did in their previous meeting, saying, oh, I own you guys, all that stuff. Like, people remember that. And I think that the Chicago Bears are going to try to make it a point to try to stop or hinder Aaron Rodgers as best as possible. I know that's, a lot easier said than done. But again, I wouldn't be surprised. And what I expect is that the Green Bay Packers to have a pretty heavy run game in tonight's game, because that's what I think that they'll win that way. So that's my gut feeling that way. Appreciate the question, Adam. Adam asks again, tight end pick 1, Ricky Seals, Hooper, or Everett. See, I do like Hooper's spot, especially with him being the only one there against Baltimore. They are going to have to throw the ball, I presume, in this game to try to catch up with Baltimore. So Hooper's not a bad play. Everett getting a slight uptick over the last couple of weeks in usage. But again, I'm going to stick with Seals on this one. I think that Ricky Seals is your pick, and I think he has the best matchup moving forward. So that's the other reason why I like going with Ricky Seals, is that way you're not having to play this every single week. I think you could just pick up Ricky Seals, and he's your starter rest of the season. And I'm also doing that. I'll say it, little, confession here. I'm doing as such in several leagues, because I've got Hawkinson out. I've got Waller in a league that he's out. So I'm having to pivot and use that in that way. Devonta Parker or NWI for the playoffs, half PPR. If you're talking about the whole playoffs, I'm probably going to go Parker for the whole playoffs, simply because with NWI, you've got A.J. Brown expected to come back next week, or, he's eligible to come off IR next week. So I expect him back. You've got Julio coming back today. Again, it's Julio. He's been injured often this whole season, so he could get injured again. If that's the case, NWI would be more interesting to me. I do think I would rather have NWI in that case, but because of those other 2 situations, I do think that Parker, as of right this moment, I would rather have Parker moving forward. But in today's game, Parker's on a bye, so I'm definitely going NWI. Little cheap out there, but sorry, Andre, I had to do it. All right, Tater Tot asking, drop A.J. Brown for A.B. A.B. is back week 16 versus Carolina and Jets for championship. A.J. isn't back until against the Dolphins. I would look for somebody else, honestly, other than A.J. Brown, Tater Tot, to drop, other than A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown has a couple of decent matchups, and again, he's a type of receiver that you don't necessarily have to go with matchups because he's basically the only option for that passing down work. You could say Julio, but Julio hasn't been there the whole time. So, and even when he's in there, it's still been a hyper efficient target A.J. Brown. That's where Tannehill likes to go when they're throwing. So, now Antonio Brown, I like that you pointed out that the schedule. I do think he has a very good schedule. I am a little concerned with that Carolina game. Carolina isn't, they're a little bit more stout for wide receivers, and it's his first game back. I don't know what his, target or snap count is going to be like. He could get a little bit more reprimand from, as far as limited snap counts because of his whole issue and being suspended, or he could come back and get, the exact workload that he saw before he went out. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping out because I'm holding AB in a lot of leagues, but I'm mostly holding him for that week 17 Jets if I pick him up. So that's why I'm not saying AJ Brown is an absolute drop right now, because in my eyes, I'm really only eyeing AB as a sure lock for week 17 start, not week 16 necessarily. But again, we'll continue to monitor that, and we'll know, or we at least should know, the snap count before that game as to whether or not we should get him in week 16 in our lineup. All right. Green Bay D, grab him. I did. Nice. That's what I did. I grabbed him. Ronald's coming in saying, good morning. Yo. What's up? Good morning. Rodgers or Taysom Hill. See, in this case, David, I would probably just rely on Rodgers because the floor for Rodgers is a lot safer. That's my only concern with Taysom, is that what if he re-injures that finger? If he gets hit one time, that's the concern with Hill. So if you definitely need to win in this, and you can't really gamble with saying that, I think, at the end of the week when we're looking at the finishes, who finishes higher, I'd say Taysom Hill finishes higher. That's what I actually think. But do I know whether or not Taysom Hill, or do I have a lot of confidence Taysom Hill is 100% going to finish this game against the Jets? I don't. So that's the reason why I would say, I'd potentially pivot to Rodgers in that case. I have so many handcuffs. Is Johnson a handcuff to Chubb with Hunt back or no? This is a little bit difficult to say because I would expect Johnson to get some workload, but I don't presume he would get like that full Nick Chubb workload. I think that Kareem Hunt would get a little bit extra carries there, and Johnson would have a few. He would probably take over more so like the Kareem Hunt size role. I'm not saying he would take over that Kareem Hunt role, but he would probably take over the Kareem Hunt size role. So I don't necessarily think that you have to do this one in your case. In that case, I don't know if it's worth, dropping one of your other guys, Jersey J, to pick up that handcuff. What's up? Start 2. McLaurin, ask Snoopy. McLaurin, Hopkins, or Higgins? Right? And Higgins. I like Higgins, but I think Higgins still has a good game. I think he's exploding. He's, setting out to explode. But I'm going with McLaurin and Higgins and Hopkins here. Those are the two that I'm going with because Higgins dealing with that ankle issue. He's supposed to be over it, but with Hopkins and McLaurin both relatively healthy-ish, then I would go in that route. That's where I would roll. Our guy, Tater Tot, jump in here. You spoke a bit of this Thursday, but Burrow or Wilson, 6-point TD, coming in with another super chat. Our guy, we know, you know what to do, Whisper Nation. Got to show our appreciation. We got to hit him with a woo. Let's go. All right, Burrow or Wilson. I'm going with. Actually, I think I update. I think I'm still rolling with. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go with Wilson. Burrow, his finger is supposed to be okay. Like he was throwing, reports are he was throwing with it, and so it's not as big of a concern to me. His finger isn't than it was back when you asked this, but I still gave you the Burrow.
But after thinking, I think I would go with Wilson here. It's just too good of a matchup. And really, if he can't produce in this matchup like this, I mean, you're probably out, unfortunately, Tater Tot. That's the bad news if that happens. But I just think it is, and with the finger with Burrow, not as great of a matchup. And because of all the running backs just all banged up, maybe Seattle. Maybe they just let Russ cook a little bit more. But I'll tell you, they look god-awful. So I don't know if that's the actual question or solution that you want. But, yeah, I would go with Wilson. I would go with Wilson. I'll tell you, though, I don't feel 100% confident about that call. But, yeah. All right. I got a lot of questions here. So I'm going to try to pick up the pace here, start going a little bit faster. All right. I just picked up 49ers D. Oh, baby. Let's go. Way to go, Andre. That's a great one. Brian asking, Dylan or Hunt PPR. I'm going Dylan on this one. I think Dylan low-key has I think Dylan has the better game over Dylan and AJ Aaron Jones tonight. That's a hot take. Probably get roasted on it, but that's my hot take for today. I'm going to say AJ Dillon has a better game than Aaron Jones tonight. Asking Ayuk or Chase. I'm going Chase. I think Chase has the higher upside. Ayuk has been a bit disappointing. I don't know how much you can rely on him, although Chase has been disappointing as well, so I understand the question, but I'm going with Chase because he just has the higher upside. They'll push the ball down the field to him. You've also got Debo coming back for the 49ers. We'll see how many snaps he has, but again, I would go with Chase. James asking, appreciate you, James, coming in here. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, ask a question, waiting for my answer. Do me a favor, hit this with the thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. OBJ or Mooney PPR. See, in this case, I'm going to go with OBJ in this one. I don't feel very confident in this answer because Mooney has been very solid. I don't think Mooney's going to score, but I think Mooney has a safer floor over OBJ. But again, I think in this matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, the Rams might be coming back from behind, which would put OBJ in that category there for me. But I'll be honest, this is PPR. I've got him really close in my rankings. Yeah, no, actually, yeah. I've got him separated by about 5 points. I got him separated about 5 points. I don't feel good. I just feel like, yeah, I would go. My rankings actually do say my rankings say Mooney. My rankings say I have Mooney higher. But I was looking into this game. With Robinson coming back, I think that I would then move him down a little bit. So I would go with OBJ. I would go with OBJ. That's what I'm going to say. Trey asking, redraft full PPR, Hilliard, Abdullah, 1 point per 10. Oh, interesting. I would still go with Hilliard. Even though Abdullah gets the receiving yards. But that was good. I like how you laid that out. Appreciate that. Our guy, Gus Ramos. What's up, Gus? Morning. Jacob Bly. Is Wilson a smart play in Superflex, or would you go Hollywood or Freeman? See, and especially in a Superflex, I'm going to play Wilson in a Superflex. He has been majorly disappointing in a Superflex. I could say firsthand because he was the one that we had anchored our, listener league draft with. So it's not been good. That roster has been terrible, but I would not play Hollywood or Freeman over Wilson. Unless it's like a completion thing. If you get like docked for completions, then maybe, but I doubt you do. So, Javi asking, I can't even say his name, but the Detroit Lions running back, Foreman or trust Aaron Jones? I'm playing Aaron Jones in this case. Like, I'm not going to bench Aaron Jones over these other two guys that, in my opinion, that's getting a little too cute. I think Aaron Jones still has a day. I think that both Green Bay Packers running backs have a good day.
I just think based on what I've seen the last couple of weeks, I think that they have kind of leaned a little bit more on A.J. Dillon, but it could have been just because they were trying to get Aaron Jones a little bit more rest. And then, coming off their bye, they're going to, give him his normal workload. And if that's the case, Aaron Jones is an absolute really good smash spot. So that's why I would go with Aaron Jones. Do you think Jones will be go from the Giants after this year's over? Legacy question. I don't think Daniel Jones, I think they'll probably let him go. I think a whole new coaching staff, whole new GM system is going to come in, and they're just going to wash everything. And Danny Dimes will probably be a backup somewhere and probably be a backup for the next, 5-6 years. We'll see. But unfortunately, I don't know if he has very much of a future anymore. I don't know any teams that are going to be like, hey, let's keep giving this guy an option. Let's see. Anna saying hit that like button. Appreciate that, Anna. And if you're newly tuning in, we got 23 of you guys watching. Hit that thumbs up for me. Really appreciate it. Really does help with the YouTube algorithm. Helps them say, hey, people like this show. We need to get them more views. We need to get more people over there. We need to grow Whisper Nation. So it really does help by just clicking that thumbs up button for us. It's really easy. Sleek asking full PPR, CEH, Hubbard, or Crowder. I'm going CEH. I'm going CEH in this case. Brian asking Russ or Carr and Brady or Stafford. Thanks. I'm going Russell Wilson over. Actually, no. In this case, I am going Derek Carr over Russell because in this case, to me, Carr has the safer floor. His ceiling's about the same, even a good matchup for Russ. I have no idea. I can never trust Russell, which is why I'm having, difficulty telling you guys on such a pivotal week, having full confidence in saying, play Russ over X, Y, and Z because, the analytics, I'm a very analytics-based, that's how I like to go about ranking players. That's how I like to go about giving my advice is based on matchups and things like that and what I do know to give you guys the best answer. And so that's what I try to rely on. And like I said, I tried to do that the last couple of weeks with Russ, and he just hasn't shown up. And so for that reason, if it's Russ and Carr, I'm going with Carr. And then Brady or Stafford, I'm going to go with Brady over Stafford. All right. Tyler Boyd or MVS, asked John. I would go, in this case, MVS, PPR, higher upside. And I actually do think MVS is a sneaky snart this week. Sneaky snart. Defenses, Dallas, Seattle, or LA Chargers. I'm going to go with the LA Chargers against the Giants, who they're probably going to get destroyed. They might get shut out, to be honest with you. Seattle, not a bad play. That's another defense that is a nice streamable play. Our guy Austin coming in on the stream here, Ayuk or Gage. I'm going to go with Ayuk over Gage this week in a matchup that isn't too great for Atlanta against Carolina. And Ayuk in what looks to be a better matchup. So that's where I would roll. I know it doesn't sound, Gage getting more targets over the last few weeks. Ayuk kind of disappointing. But again, I think I would go with Ayuk in what looks to be a potential shootout between 49ers and Cincinnati. All right. Anna asking, what's up, fantasy whispers? It's all good. It's all good. We know them. We know the fantasy footballers too. James Conner or Michelle non-PPR. I am going Sony Michel over James Conner. That's a bold call. I understand it. But again, who is more susceptible at the running back position? That is the Arizona Cardinals. We know that Sony Michel is going to get all the workload. We're not quite sure how much of the Edmonds will come in and affect James Conner. I would try to get both these guys in your lineup if you can, because I like them both. But I understand sometimes you just have that good of options. And if I have to choose between these two specifically in a non-PPR, I'm going to go with Sony. Pistol Pete asking Dalton Schultz or Dawson Knox full PPR. I would go with Dawson Knox over Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz not a decent play though. like that's a decent play this week, but I would go with Knox over Schultz this week. David Johnson just got COVID. If anyone was playing him, just got COVID. Yeah, I think they're gonna sit him the rest of the season. I think he's done. What's your thoughts on Tyler Boyd passing away in a car? What? Tyler Boyd? Is this breaking news? This really just happened? Tyler Boyd? Gotta look this up. I don't know what that. Or maybe it's just another Tyler Boyd. Appreciate that. I don't know. Well, see. All right. Ayuk or Julio, PPR, and Burkhead or Hilliard, PPR. I'm going to go with Ayuk over Julio. I just can't trust Julio to get out of a game, or I can't trust the targets. He should have a better game than Ayuk, but again, I can't trust Julio to get out of the game. And then PPR, Burkhead or Hilliard, PPR. I'm going Hilliard. I understand that Burkhead gets a lot of volume, but it doesn't translate to very much there. Aaron Rodgers or Taysom Hill, full PPR. I'm going with, I said this before, I would go with Rodgers in this case. I think that Taysom Hill has the higher ceiling this week against the Jets, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned with the thumb and the throwing finger. I'm concerned with the throwing finger. That's what I said earlier, right? That's where I went. I'm going to start confusing myself after being on here first. I'm going Rodgers. I'm going Rodgers in this one. Rodgers. All right. Brian asking Michelle Foreman or Wilson Flex. Ooh, I like these. I'm going to go Sony Michelle on this one. Sony Michelle. What up, Eric? What's up from our guy from the north? Start, sit, full PPR flex. James Robinson or MBS. I have AJ Dillon starting already. This again. I know I'm not positive on the amount of workload that James Robinson's going to get. He's coming in banged up, but I do think that they make it more of a point to get him the ball, especially after what Trevor Lawrence had said. So I would go with James Robinson. Let's see. $23. Ooh, I like that one. That's great. Julio or AJ Dillon? Give me AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon, like it. Hooper or Komet? Give me Hooper, ask Hero. Hero Guire, what's up, buddy? Let's see. Julio, DJ Moore, or Shepard? I'm going DJ Moore. Ask Chad. Kristen, Newton or Carr? And Shepard or Galladay? I'm going to go with Derek Carr. I'm going with Derek Carr over Cam Newton. And I'm going with, I don't really. Can you pivot to anybody else other than Galladay or Shepard? Because I don't. If you have to choose these two, I'd probably go with Shepard over Galladay, but I don't feel confident in that. I wish you had a better option on the waiver. Standard Ayuk or Jones Jr. Thank you. I'm going Ayuk. Not Dallas. AJ Dillon, Julio, or OBJ. I'm going AJ Dillon on that one. Ask not Dallas. Olivia, what's up? What's up, Olivia? Jumping in here. Good friend of mine. Cooper, Metcalf, or Jeff Wilson in flex. In your flex, I'm going Jeff Wilson. He has the safest floor. Cooper has a pretty solid matchup, but Washington been playing better over the last few weeks. Metcalf, amazing matchup. Can't trust him, though, in this situation. I think Metcalf ultimately has a day? I do. I do think Metcalf has a good day today, but again, I'm going with what we know and what we can bank on. That gives us the most solid floor with the most bang for a buck and upside potential, and that's Jeff Wilson. So I would go with Jeff Wilson. Great question. I answered that one. What up, Mr. Blue? Welcome in. Welcome in. Eric, our guy, Hooper or RSJ or Ingram PPR? I'm going RSJ today. That's where I'd go in this one. And rest of season. I think that's also in part why I keep going RSJ. Is because rest of the season, I think that he ends up filling in very nicely. Now, does he end up having the best day of these three? Time will tell. I mean, Hooper potentially because he's in such a great spot and they don't have a whole lot of pass catchers. But ultimately, I'm going to say RSJ is the guy that you're going to want. Nomadic asking PPR quarterback, Rodgers or Hill? I'm going Rodgers. Okay. Flex, Mooney, Jarvis, Brandon Cooks, or Kareem Hunt. I would go... Here's what I'm going to say. I would go in this case, if you're asking me these four, I would go Mooney has the highest upside. So if you need to swing for an upside in this matchup, that's where I would go. If you just need guy like a floor play, like you're like, I need to make sure my guy gets, 6 to 8 points, 6 to 10 points in a PPR, I'm going Kareem Hunt because I have more confidence that he's going to definitely get that. But do I think that his ceiling is going to be, a 20-point game? No, I don't. But do I think Mooney could potentially get there? I do, because I do think Mooney could score a touchdown and grab, 80 receiving yards, something around there, around 5 to 7 receptions. So that would give you about 20. So that based on your matchup, that's where I would go, depending on what you need. Let's see. 4 Horsemen for life. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Getting a little WWE in there. Sony Michel or James Conner flex spot. I'm going to go with Sony Michel in that flex spot. Not Dallas. Just keeps asking the same question. Yeah, I got to it, man. Let's see. Who would you take rest of the season, Parker or Van Jefferson? I would take Van Jefferson over Parker rest of season. Jersey J saying drop a thumbs up or the bad karma will cost you in your game. I like that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Got to drop that thumbs up. Really helps it. We're trying to get to 50. I don't even know what we're at right now, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like we're going on good vibes right now. All right. I got a couple more minutes and I got to jump off. So we'll get through the rest of these. Oh, Zach Wilson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jacob Bly. No, I would not go with although, oddly enough, Zach Wilson does have some sneaky upside. He's a sneaky snart. He is a very sneaky snart this week. I did see that. And I did notice that. But I don't have the confidence to be like, yeah, I would definitely play in week 14 Zach Wilson over, those other options that you had. I would probably go with the floor and the base of those other ones, just because it could get real ugly for Zach Wilson in a PPR or in a super flex. All right, bro, you need to set your keeper league roster. I need you to win to make the playoffs. Yeah, I said it. I have RSJ in my lineup. Troy over here all week because I haven't had a starting tight end in there yet. I had Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki's on a bye. I have RSJ. I picked him up. All right, Mad Eye Mike saying I'm in a PPR league. Tony Pollard was my flex. The best option, Darrell Williams or Tyler Boyd. I would go Darrell Williams over Tyler Boyd. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. 31 and keep them coming. Appreciate you all, Whisper Nation, getting that up there. I told you, I felt like it was a good video. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up. If we get to 50, that would be awesome. All right, Evan asking PPR league with what 2 wide receiver taken? Mooney, Van Jefferson, Gage, Judy, Crowder. I'm going Mooney and Van Jefferson if those are the two, or of all those ones. Those are the 2 that I'm taking. Chosen one. I'm still debating with Zeke or Sony Michel. Zeke is projected to get 16. I would go with Zeke over Sony because of the Tony Pollard, but I would really try Chosen Roach to get Sony in your lineup. MDS, Gage, or Judy. If this is your flex, like I'm playing Sony over all three of these guys. But if you have to play one of these three guys, I'm playing MDS. That's where I'm going. I think he has a game. I think he has the best chance. I mean, yeah, I just can't trust Judy. I'm not trusting him in my lineup. Gage, again, you could go Gage if that's what your gut feeling is. I understand it, but I just don't know that Gage is going to be able to hit his ceiling against Carolina. MBS has some blow-up potential. Happy PPR asked Marco, sit one, D-Hop, Sony, or T. Higgins? I'd sit T. Higgins. Great question. Joey, pick two, PPR, Lockett, Evans, or Debo. I'm going with Evans, and I'm going with Lockett. Just because Debo could be on somewhat of a snap count. He also has a groin injury, so it could be re-aggravated a lot easier. I'd stay away from that. I like his matchup a little bit better, and I trust him a little bit more than Lockett. But, again, if there's a blow-up spot for Lockett, it's going to be against Houston. And, talking about a blow-up spot where, we've seen Lockett get 50 points from a blow-up spot. 12-team PPR, choose three. A.J. Dillon, Cole Beasley, Godwin. Running back from Detroit, Gallup, Donta Foreman, Bateman. Thank you. So PPR, choose three. I'm going to go with A.J. Dillon. I'm going with Godwin. And I'm going with I do think Gallup is a little bit interesting, but I'll go with Foreman. I'm going to go with Foreman. Those are the three. A.J. Dillon, Godwin, Foreman. Evan asks, what two wide receivers? Oh, I answered this one. Do it 420. What's up, our guy? What's up? Do it 420. Higbee or Seals Jones? Standard. Ask Josh. Josh, I would go with Seals Jones over Higbee. Cardinals are pretty good with defending the tight end. They're one of the better in the league, top two. Matthew Smith, undercover. That's very stupid and ridiculous question. Oh, what? I don't know where. Matthews. We don't have stupid questions. Dallas. Dallas, we got your question, man. We're all good here. We're all good. Just here to have fun. No, we're all good. We're all good. All right. PPR league. Oh, Evan asking the same. Okay. Jacobs or McLaurin asking. I would go with Josh Jacobs. I would go Josh Jacobs in that one. Thanks, brother. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday. Appreciate you for stopping in, tuning in. Garrett asking A.J. Dillon or DJ Moore. I do like both these guys. I'm going to go A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon. Hector asking thoughts on Debo's groin for my flex or Hunter Renfrow. I'd go with Hunter Renfrow in this case. More steady, more consistent. From a standpoint of like you can pivot to him and you don't have to worry about that groin injury. And so that's why I'm going there. Especially in a PPR, Renfrow has been very, very solid. Very, very solid. Let's see. Gage or McLaurin. I would go with McLaurin over Gage. Sony or Cordero. Yeah, I don't know if I want to tell you to get that cute and saying to sit Cordero for Sony. I don't know if I want to get that cute with you. I understand why you were saying what you're saying, Chosen Rose. Yeah, I would probably stick with Cordero over Sony. Troy, I will downvote this video if you don't update your league. I will update the line. I'm going to be jumping off here 2 minutes. Then I check my updates. Unbelievable. That's why I say I have to go through. Evening all. Rob Shorter, appreciate you. Rob, come across the pond. Keep up the hard work, bro. Appreciate you. Whisper Nation Strong. 36 likes. Let's go. Trying to get to that 50. We're almost there. Almost there. Ray asking Montgomery versus Packers on Sunday night. On the road, or CH versus Raiders at home playing soon. I would go with this one. I would go with Monty. I'm playing Monty. I'm going Monty. Monty or Hopkins PPR. I'm going, Here's what I would advise, Hector. You have your Sunday morning and afternoon matchups. I would play those out. I would see where you're at. If you need to make sure that, maybe you're lucky and you're only down 10 points or something like that, then I'm playing Hopkins. I'm playing Monty. I don't know how you don't play Monty in this situation. Like Monty's gonna. If you're concerned about the injury, then maybe you pivot to Hopkins here. But again, like what's nice, these both are the Sunday night and Monday night games, so you can kind of gauge your matchup on what you need. But I feel confident playing Monty. I'm playing Monty in almost, I have him in like 90% of my leagues this year, and I'm playing him every league I have him. So if that tells you anything, could tell you nothing. You can be like, I'm going to pivot from him then because Johnny's going to play him in all these leagues. Steering clear. I don't know. It's up to you. Tyler asking Hilliard, Ty Johnson, Edmonds, but Edmonds questionable. Doesn't play till tomorrow. Yeah, I would go with Hilliard. That's where I would play. All right. All right, let's see. Van Jefferson or Ayuk? I'm going with this one. I would go with Van Jefferson over Ayuk on that one. Oh, appreciate this. Try watching another fantasy live and they are jokes. Appreciate you getting to all the questions. Appreciate that, man. Full PPR if you hit that like on the way in. Subscribe if you're new to our channel. Judy, Brandon Cooks, Van Jefferson, Chuba Hubbard. Pick 2. Full PPR, I'm going with Van Jefferson and Chuba and a pick 2. Appreciate the question. All right, here we go. Rapid 41 likes, Jersey J. We're almost there, man. We're almost there. We're getting it. Why? I don't know what Monty is he was off the injury list. He was removed from it. Rashad Penny or AJ Dillon? I'm going to go with AJ Dillon. I'm holding 4 defenses in 2 of my leagues. I love it, dude. You're also holding those away from people. It's a strategy. Not a lot of people talk about in fantasy football. I'm holding 3 defenses in 1 league, almost 2 in every single league at least. So that's fine. Stick with Burrow or go Carr. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow over Derek Carr. Joe Burrow over Carr. Yeah. I understand if you want to go with Carr as like you're not worried about the finger. I get it. I wouldn't hate you. They're separated by a couple spots in my rankings. So it's not like, it's basically a coin flip. So in that case, I would probably even more so lean on Carr actually, just because I feel safer with Carr than Burrow with the finger. I get it. I don't know why you keep saying, Jersey J, keep trying to indicate that Monty's going to go on IR. He's not going on IR. Stop putting that bad juju in the world, Jersey J. Stop putting that. Sit Julio, have room for a McLaurin. Yes. If you have those 2, then yes. If they are, this is someone that, if they might shut down Swift for the season. And again, we'll see. All of a sudden now we're just in like speculation, which, by the way, look, we do speculate. We're a fantasy show, but now you got all of a sudden now you have like all these supported beat reporters that are now starting to speculate on things. And like, that's becoming the main source of this stuff, when it's getting very frustrating because it makes it hard for us to know. I haven't heard anything from the actual team or an actual source that says that Swift is going to be shut down. This is all just like, oh, well, we think it's going to happen because, the Lions aren't doing well. And let me tell you, guys, you know who isn't doing well either? New Orleans. New Orleans not doing well. And guess what? They just brought Alvin Kamara, their best player, back. So, and he's playing today. So teams, we still have plenty of weeks left. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll believe it when I see it. Connor or CH? I would go in. Is this PPR, Andrea? Is this PPR? I apologize if you had mentioned that before. Let me look. If this is PPR, I'm going Connor. If it's PPR, I'm going Connor just because I still think that Connor has the higher touchdown upside than CH. OBJ or Van Jefferson? I would go with Van Jefferson over OBJ. Tampa Bay defense or Carolina defense? I'm going Tampa Bay defense, I think, over Carolina today. This one's also very I don't feel very confident in Carolina's defense. I feel very confident in it. All right. I love that. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's game time. Keep that jawline gorgeous. Appreciate it. Yeah, PPR. Yeah, with PPR, Andrea, I would stick with Connor. I would stick with Connor in a PPR. All right, that does it. I got to jump off because if I don't, I got to set a couple of lineups, make sure that I'm all good to go. Whisper Nation, appreciate you, like always, for jumping on, joining in today's stream. Good luck to all of you, Whisper Nation. Today, I hope you win. Hope you get in the playoffs. Tune in this week. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be doing a Monday night watch party, doing a DFS lineup with FanDuel. So make sure you're jumping on. We'll be going live about 45 minutes before kickoff tomorrow. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe, hitting that bell so you get notified when we go live. And that's all I got, Whisper Nation. Again, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like if you haven't on the way out. It really does help this channel. Gets it out to a lot more people. Gets it bumping. Chat goes crazy. Appreciate you all for joining. Do It 420, Maximo, Ronald's, Andrea. We got Andrea. Hopefully you subscribe. You're new. We saw you in here this morning. So appreciate everyone once again. And good luck today on this fun football Sunday. All right, for Fantasy Whispers, I'm Johnny Game Time Hicks, and I'm out. Take it easy, Whisper Nation. Peace.
Right here.
Look at you go. You made it to the end of another one of our videos. Hey, if you still have some questions, I totally understand. Or you just want to join an awesome fantasy football community, head on over to our Discord chat. Link is in the description below. And if you're still not sold on us, check out one of these videos.